Carbon cycle. Carbon concentration in atmosphere is 0.03%. Circulation of carbon from atmosphere to biosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and returns back to atmosphere is known as carbon cycle. From atmosphere, CO2 enters into plants through photosynthesis to synthesize food particles. CO2 enters into terrestrial organisms when the plants are eaten by them. When these organisms die, it enters into soil. CO2 enters into water as carbonates, which are helpful for aquatic plants to perform photosynthesis. In rocks, it is available as limestones. How CO2 returns to atmosphere? From fossil fuel, from respiration of animals, from burning of wood, release of smoke from motor vehicles and industries, extraction of fuels, cement manufacturing, deforestation. If the amount of CO2 increases in the atmosphere, it leads to the disturbance of natural carbon cycle. Release of chlorofluorocarbons, CFC, from air coolers and refrigerators leads to depletion of ozone layer and global warming. We should always try to maintain the carbon concentration, that is 0.03%.
The third planet from the Sun. The only planet having a vast diversity of life forms. While other planets of our solar system are either scorching hot or bitterly cold, Earth has a relatively stable temperatures. What is that which is making Earth different? What exactly is making Earth such a favorable place to live on? It is the Earth's atmosphere, which is a thin blanket of air surrounding the Earth from all sides. This air is a mixture of many different gases. Just like an umbrella which protects us from sun and rain, this thin layer of air protects Earth from the harmful radiations from the sun. But this stable temperature is rising every passing year. Oceans are getting warmer. Significant shift in the climate is seen. Glaciers are melting. Why is all this happening? What should be done to stop all this? We'll find the answer to all these questions through this session. Earth is constantly bombarded with enormous amount of radiations from the sun, which we receive in the form of light and heat energy. These radiations in the form of visible, ultraviolet and infrared have to first pass the Earth's atmosphere before reaching the surface. The ozone layer, which is present in the Earth's atmosphere, blocks some amount of harmful ultraviolet rays from reaching the surface. Of the remaining rays reaching the surface, part of it is absorbed by the Earth, and some, especially the infrared waves, are reflected back into the space. But some gases in the atmosphere traps this heat radiation and re-emits it to the surface, which leads to heating up of the environment. This exchange of incoming and outgoing radiation that warms the Earth is referred as the greenhouse effect. And the gases involved in this are called greenhouse gases, which mainly includes carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, chlorofluorocarbons, etc. Friends, but are you not wondering why it is called greenhouse effect? Is it something to do with the greenhouse? If you said yes, you're thinking in the right way. A greenhouse is a glass building in which plants that require protection from cold weather are kept. The glass cover helps to trap all the heat energy and keeps the inside environment warm. Now consider our planet Earth. The atmosphere acts as the glass and traps the heat. The greenhouse effect is essential in order to keep our planet warm. In the absence of this effect, the temperature of the Earth's surface would have been -20 to -40 degrees Celsius. But too much of something is bad, right? If the plants in the greenhouse receives excess heat, it would burn. And if we consider planet Earth, over the last 2 centuries, human activities have changed the Earth's atmosphere in a dramatic way. The amount of greenhouse gases have increased and are still increasing. They trap too much heat. And this excess of greenhouse effect results in global warming, which is an increase in the Earth's average temperature. Consequences of global warming are enormous. Its effects are not limited to one country, but it would affect the entire planet. Knowing the fact that global warming exists and human-made carbon dioxide emissions have caused it, many nations of the world have come together to sign an international treaty, the Kyoto Protocol. The major objective of this protocol are commitment to reduce greenhouse gases by about 5% below their 1990 levels. But what can be done by us? How can we contribute in reducing global warming and also its consequences? Well, planting more number of trees, reducing waste generation, reducing the use of products which generate greenhouse gases, using energy efficient appliances, increasing the fuel efficiency of vehicles, using more renewable energy, or say switch into greener ways which causes less harm to our environment. That's all for today. I hope you found this session very informative.
I'll just repeat these questions. So these questions are the revision for your GA for tomorrow. So if you go through these questions, you'll be having an idea about the topic. So I'll be thinking that you have understood it completely. So first one, I'll repeat. The atmosphere of Earth is heated by radiations, which are mainly re-radiated by land and water. Re-radiated by land and water. Okay, the second question. If there were no atmosphere around the Earth, the temperature of the Earth will, what happens to the temperature? If there is no atmosphere surrounding the Earth, then what happens to the temperature of the Earth? Will it increase or will it decrease, go on decreasing, or will it increase during the day and decrease during the night, or will be unaffected? What will be the answer for this?
Go on decreasing, ma'am.
Go on decreasing. The temperature will decrease. It will be very cool.
Increase. Ma'am, I'm not able to see the screen, ma'am.
Join again. I'll admit you. Log in again. You all can see?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Keep your camera on. Just 1 second. For 1 second, just keep your camera on. Everyone, I just want to see you all. Are you there? Yes. You all are watching this? You all can see the screen? You all can see the questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now I can.
Okay. So what is the answer for the second question? If there were no atmosphere around the earth, if there was no,
Ma'am, going or decrease? Ma'am?
so at the daytime there will be no sun, there will be no heat. It is increase. The C, answer is C. It will be increasing. It will be increasing during the day and decrease during the night, because at the daytime there will be very hot because of sun. The temperature will increase during the daytime, and at the night time, because there's no sun, there will be a decrease in the temperature. Okay, is it clear? There will be an increase
Yes, ma'am.
in the temperature during the day. And please mute yourself. Okay. So if you see the third question, what would happen if all the oxygen present in the environment is converted to ozone? What could be the result of that? If everything, if all the
Ma'am, D,
oxygen
ma'am.
Some poisonous and
It
killing forms, ma'am.
Ma'am, D, ma'am. It will help.
D, it will help harmful
B, ma'am.
substances to
Yes,
Can
ma'am. B, ma'am.
damage many life
to
forms.
reach Earth and damage many life forms.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So it is D. It will help harmful sun radiations to reach the earth and damage many life forms. So,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
now coming to fourth one. One of the following factors does not lead to soil formation in nature. So what are
Ma'am, polythene bags.
Yes, good. Polythene bags. So polythene bags will not let the soil formation in nature. It's really harmful. Now coming to, just one second, I'll just. So the fourth one, we have gone through the fourth one. And now fifth question. Now coming to fifth question, children. The two forms of oxygen found in the atmosphere are, I'll just unmute you. You all have to mute yourself, children. Please do not create any disturbance in the class. So if we see the first one, the two forms of oxygen found in the atmosphere are either it is water and ozone, water and oxygen, ozone and oxygen, water and carbon dioxide. So in which form can we form of oxygen found in the atmosphere? The two forms.
Oxygen and ozone, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Ozone.
ma'am. Ozone and oxygen.
Yes.
Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
Ozone and oxygen. Okay. And now coming to sixth one. The process of nitrogen fixation by bacteria does not take place in the presence of the process of nitrogen fixation by bacteria does not take place in the presence of molecular form of hydrogen, elemental form of oxygen, or it is water, or elemental form of nitrogen. In the nitrogen,
Ma'am, elementary form of nitrogen.
elemental form of,
Nitrogen, ma'am.
okay. The first listen to the question. The process of nitrogen fixation. In this process of nitrogen fixation by bacteria, what of all these four, what does not take place? The process of nitrogen fixation by bacteria does
Ma'am,
not
A.
take place
Ma'am, A, ma'am.
in the presence of elemental form of oxygen. Elemental form of oxygen. So oxygen must not be there in the process of nitrogen fixation, does not takes place in the presence of oxygen. Okay, elemental form of oxygen. So there is no need of air because it is happening in the absence of oxygen. Nitrogen fixation in by the presence of bacteria is taking place in the ground, in the root nodules, isn't it? So there is no need of any elemental form of oxygen. So if you see the seventh question, rainfall patterns depend on rainfall,
Number of water bodies in an area, ma'am.
the number of
Number of
water bodies in an area. Good. Yes. The rainfall patterns depend on the number of water bodies in an area. Yes, good. Okay, now coming to eighth, among the given options, which one is not correct for the use of large amount of fertilizers and pesticides? They are eco-friendly. Are they eco-friendly, fertilizers and pesticides?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
option correct? Among these options,
Yes, ma'am.
one is not
They are
correct.
Yes, ma'am. It is correct, ma'am.
First one is correct.
Mm,
Yes.
Correct.
They are eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
So this is not correct. So first one, the answer is first one. So the remaining, we'll go through the remaining also. They turn the field barren after some time. It is true. They adversely affect the useful component from the soil. Yes, it is true. They destroy the soil fertility. Isn't it? Fertilizers and pesticides, they destroy
ma'am.
the soil fertility.
Fertility.
Okay, now we'll go through the remaining questions also. One second. Ninth question is, the nitrogen molecules present in air can be converted into nitrates and nitrites by a biological process of nitrogen fixing bacteria present in soil, or a biological process of carbon fixing factor present in soil, or any of the industries manufacturing nitrogenous compounds, or the plants used as cereal crops in field. So for answering this question, you have to keep in mind that what is the question? First, what is the question which is asked? We are just searching for the nitrogen molecules present in air can be converted into nitrates and nitrites. Nitrogen molecules from the air converted into nitrates and nitrites by a biological
Process of nitrogen fixation bacteria present in soil, ma'am.
Yes, good. So the answer is
A, ma'am.
one second. A. Okay, good. And now coming to 10th one. One of the following processes is not a step involved in water cycle operating in nature. One of the following process is not a step involved in water cycle. So one step is not involved in water cycle. Just search for that.
Photosynthesis.
Yes, good. Photosynthesis. Good. So all these three processes are included in water cycle, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the term water pollution can be defined in several ways. Which of the following statement does not give the correct definition? What is not the correct definition for water pollution? Remember, for water pollution, which is not the correct statement? I'm repeating the statements. Number one, the addition of undesirable substances to water bodies. Addition of undesirable substances to water bodies. Waste materials we are adding to water. Is this the correct statement? Which is the statement which is not given the correct definition for water pollution? Is this the one? The removal of desirable substances.
Yes, ma'am. From water bodies. Yes, ma'am. It is correct.
Or a change in pressure of water bodies, or a change in temperature of water bodies. What the term water pollution can be defined in several ways. Which of the following statements does not give the correct definition? For water pollution, A is the correct definition. B, the removal of desirable substances from water bodies. B is the correct definition. For water
No,
pollution?
ma'am.
No.
Because desirable means
Yes.
nice substances.
Yes, you're removing nice substance from water bodies, then it comes under water pollution. And
No,
coming to
ma'am.
C, change in pressure of water bodies.
No, ma'am.
So this term, water pollution. So C, the change in pressure of water bodies. So this statement does not give a correct definition, isn't it? Change in pressure. Change in pressure does not affect the water bodies. So it is not the correct definition. All these, they support the definition of water pollution, isn't it? Even D also, a change in temperature. If you just increase the temperature, then the water bodies will die. So it can also cause the water pollution. All these three define the water pollution. They are perfect definition for water pollution. And the one which is not supporting is the C, a change in pressure of water bodies. It does not define the water pollution. Is it clear? Okay, now coming to 12th one. Which of the following is not given a greenhouse gas? Which is not the greenhouse gas?
Ma'am, ammonia.
Good, ammonia. Are you all understanding? Only a few children, they are giving me the answer. Only a few children, they are giving me the answer, children. Why? What about others? Okay, don't worry if we don't finish this in time, because we have only a little bit of time left. I'll share these questions with you. Okay? I'll share these questions, children. 1 second. So 13th one, we have only 1 minute left. So I'll be sharing these questions. Please go through them. I'll be sharing the answers also for them. Okay, today I'll share this, all these questions, including the answers also. So go through them, and best of luck for your J3. Don't worry, the questions which I have included in the test are very easy. Okay? Okay, children, then see you on Monday.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
on
Bye,
Monday,
ma'am.
children, on Monday, we'll go through the revision of the first chapter, fundamental unit of life, cell. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
We'll be revising. Okay then.
Okay, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.